Hej och hjärtligt välkomna ska ni vara till Invest Live. I denna sändning som presenteras av Investor Target, Direkt Studios, Stockpicker och de bolag som deltar kommer vi att få lyssna på två bolag verksamma inom miljö- och medicinteknik. Bolag som nu kommer att ta nästa steg och adressera en gigantisk marknad och global sådan. Först ut är miljöteknikbolaget Stirlingversal. Bolaget vars variant av Stirlingmotor förbättrar effekt, miljöavtryck och pris för energi. Stirlingversal följs av danska Arrhenius, bolaget vars banbrytande teknik erbjuder även de med en mindre plånbok att kunna höra ordentligt. Då båda bolagen vänder sig till en internationell publik, dels när det gäller investerare och dels när det gäller kunder, kommer vi nu att fortsätta på engelska. As always with our broadcast, if you watch this live, you can interact with the management and you can do so by writing your questions in the top chat. We will address your question at the end of each presentation. And with that under our belt, it's high time to welcome Johan Arrhenius, CEO for the land-based Stirlingversal. Johan, hello, how are things?
Hello, Carlo. Things are good, thank you. And thank you for the nice introduction. And thank you everyone who's listening and watching for giving me this opportunity to introduce Stirlingversal. As we don't have much time, let's start. My name is Johan Arrhenius, by the way. I'm Swedish and I'm the CEO of the company. So we are a green tech company, as Carl just mentioned. This means that we use our technology to create products and solutions that are good for the environment and good for the climate. Our core technology is a Stirling engine that converts heat into electricity. We are based in Lund, South Sweden. But we also have a fully owned subsidiary in Kunshan, just outside Shanghai in China. That is our center for production, assembly and production of our engines. But we also work a lot there with market both in China and Southeast Asia, which is enormous. Through that, we have recently received a commercial order through a system partner based in China, but selling in Southeast Asia and Europe. And we actually have a positive gross margin on our first engines. This is just a start, but it's a good start. We expect to have positive cash flow in 2026. So we have some way to go, but we're good, well on the way. And we are now actually doing a emission of new shares at a very good offer as we go into the commercialization phase of the product. Our mission: we will provide clean, on-demand energy solutions close to the consumer and close to the fuel sources. I will get a bit more about that in another slide, but it's a very strong mission. Because the challenges that we address now, that we all have to address, is that first, renewable energy sources are very badly needed. And we all know we need to move away from fossil fuels to save the climate. And we need replacements for that, cost-effective and reliable electricity. Because as in this process, the society is electrifying more and more. Cars, all transports, industrial process being electrified. So we need more clean electricity. As it is now, very often electricity is generated very far away from where it's used. So you lose a lot when you transport it or transfer it. We also have a lot of areas in the world that are not connected to electricity. And we can really help to solve that kind of problem as well. There's also a lot of resources going to waste. Excess heat from industrial processes, a lot of waste that could be used in a better way, a lot of biomass, worldwide, but especially in Sweden and Southeast Asia, that could be used better. And how we can use this better and help solve this problem is through our Stirling engine. We convert difficult hot gases from waste material or biomass into green electricity. We can also use excess heat from industrial processes to convert them into electricity. Our systems are small, which is a very important fact. Small but modular. So our solutions can go from 30 kilowatt to 500 kilowatt. And there's a big gap in the market for these smaller power generating systems. The engine is based on the license from Saab Kockums who developed it, and we are the only license holder in the world today. Some of the benefits is that we can create small stations, small and medium-sized electricity generator stations, instead of transporting a lot of resources very far. For example, waste, garbage that gets burned in big power plants, biomass, etc. We can actually build smaller plants very close to the resources. Plants can even be moved instead of. So I think this is going to be a game changer. This decreases transportation costs and also CO2 emissions. Also, investment costs and investment construction time will be much shorter. And again, we're taking care of resources that otherwise today mainly go to waste. So it's really a win-win. Here are, just to explain, two of the current applications that our current engine and module is part of the solution. One is to convert biomass or waste to clean electricity. Possibly also produce biochar to capture and store CO2. That is done through a partner that we are working with, and we have a system ready that is being built now, and we started in late June in China. That's taking care of biomass waste and other waste through a gasification process. We're also looking at in industrial places where you have excess heat that today is difficult to take care of. It can be difficult gases or heat that is today not taken care of. We can go in there, install our modules, and create green electricity. Looking at the market, this is a global estimate. It's the waste to energy market. There's a lot of different types of solutions in this market, but it's very big and it's also growing very, very fast, and it will continue to grow. The world needs this type of solutions, and we believe that we can be part of this growth. We provide new solutions, good solutions, and if we can be part of creating or taking some of the market share, we already have a fantastic market. Our projections here, we are in 2024 with just our first 10 engines that are already ordered, or we have orders for, will be produced and delivered end of this year. And from there, we will continue expanding production and our deliveries and sales. As I mentioned, cash flow positive to 2026, and then a continuous growth. It's a lot to do, but we have a plan, and we're going to execute it, and we're going to do it. And as I mentioned, we are currently taking in an investment round. The details are on the screen. I'm not going to talk to them, but today we are just taking in 12 million crowns. And we are going to use this to as I mentioned, we will have a demonstration system up together with a partner, and we're going to start more intense sales activities and looking for new solution partners. We will start taking part more, showing ourselves a bit more now that we have a product and solution to show. Of course, we're also already starting to ramp up production. We also need to start strengthening our organization, building that. And we're also already in the process of developing our, how to say, next step solution that should be done in about 2 years. I think that's about it. Carlo, how did I do with timing there? What do you think?
Excellent, if you ask me. So let's kick off with a couple of questions. We received some questions here ahead of this meeting, and obviously you have elaborated about the market, which is huge, but who do you compete with? Because it's a big market, but it's also a fragmented market when it comes to products, I would assume.
Yes. Let's put it this way. If it's a very big industry, for example, where you have a huge amount of excess gas or heat, there are already good solutions to handle this. So we're not competing with them. But where we go in is where maybe you have a smaller amount. It's still valuable resources, but they are too expensive to take care of and utilize with present technology, because that takes a lot of investment and it's quite big installations. So here we come in as a smaller, flexible, ready-to-use solution. So we see it will be incorporated in bigger systems as an accessory, and we're not competing with anyone at the moment, because there is nothing to use that to solve that problem now. We are a new solution. Same with biomass and garbage in many ways, where today this is transported a long way, and we can then, by being closer to the resource and smaller, we can avoid that. So we say again that it's a new solution. And also when we look at islands, for example, it can be in Philippines or Indonesia, there is no grid, but there's a lot of biomass, there's a lot of garbage. We can be part of solving their electricity problems. Now maybe they need to use diesel generators and such. So in that case, we would be competing with that solution. There's a lot of applications for the product.
But one could then say that you are competing with, I wouldn't, ignorance is a strong word, but obviously it's a brand new technology, which is flexible, smaller, and a lower price, but the user needs to know that. So that's also something to compete with, I could argue.
Absolutely. That's why it's so important for us to get our demonstration system up and running. So we're getting that one first in China, and we'll have another one next year in Sweden or somewhere in Europe, we hope. Because when people see it, they believe it.
Yes, and I have one question here, which is, I think you answered that, but that's who uses your product? Is it the same as the buyer? And you said that you were going to incorporate your engine in a bigger schedule or a module. So I guess it's not really the end user that would be your client, or is it both?
A little bit of both, but you're absolutely correct. In this phase in our company, where we are still building up, strengthening organization, and so what we look for is maybe bigger partners that provide solutions for example, gasification of biomass and waste, or solutions to industries to take care of their bad gases or excess heat, and become part of their systems initially, so that we become part of their portfolio and part of their solutions somehow. Thereby, we will grow and learn and strengthen our organization, and But the goal is that by end 2026, we should be able to also handle our own projects and be the sort of project owner or installation owner. But we're taking it step by step, and the first steps are to partner up with bigger players. But we'll also do our own marketing and try to introduce this solution to the complete solutions to end users.
But one could say that in the near-term future, the marketing of your technology would be probably done by your partners, who will then use this as a unique selling point, one could argue.
In a way, yes. We will help them with doing that marketing, and we'll also use that to we will market ourselves to potential partners mainly, because the more partners we have in, the more solutions we can be our product is a part of, the wider our market becomes. But it's correct.
And if we look at your forecast here, you had a slide showing a tremendous swing into 2029, and I believe you were addressing a market share of $190 million. Yeah. Will you expand by, the existing units, or will it be complementary, or indeed other products? And is there a geographical expansion, or will you focus on? I get the feeling that Asia is very much on top of your agenda.
This forecast here is based only on our existing solution, the one we have now, which we call the hot flue gas solution. In 2026, 27, we should start selling also our next level solution, and as I mentioned, be able to handle our own projects. But that is not part of this forecast, because we haven't been able, or not able yet, to forecast that in a proper way. We will learn a lot the coming years, so that will be an added bonus. If you say, I think we want to work globally, but we can't be everywhere at the same time. So we will probably start with Europe and Asia, which is already a huge part of the world. But I believe there will be a very good possibility that we can also open up and have installations in North and South America and so forth. As I know, it will depend on how much we can chew and what partners we get. We're going to stay flexible and look at the best opportunities as they arise.
So the key words here will be that chart is, let's say, a single product, and there are more to come, but you'll cross that bridge when you get there.
Yeah. Correct.
Interesting here. If we look at a little bit about the history and ownership structure here, could you elaborate a little bit? Do you have skin in the game?
Yeah, I have some skin in the game, but I'm not the major owner. But I do have some. Yeah, I have a fair amount that I have invested. But we have, if you look at the structure, we have one major shareholder that became an investor here invested in the company in January this year. And he owns about 28%, I believe. And then we have a group of founders that own another 28% or something like that. And then we have quite a few shareholders, smaller or my size kind of shareholders.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it's the beginning of a very interesting journey. It sounds like. But where should one turn to if one wants to participate in this future success story?
It's possible to check the website stirlingversal.com, and there's an info address you can send to, ask for information. I believe You can also email me if this presentation will be available. Let's see here. There is my email here at the last slide that I kept here for that. Those are probably the best two ways. And I don't know if then we can share of course, the investment memorandum complete over, and also ask the questions about how to do and so forth.
Excellent, Johan. Thank you very much. So Stirlingversal is the name, and if you have any interest, check it out. And with that, Johan, we thank you. Thank you for this presentation, and good luck in the future.
Thank you, Carlo. Thank you all.
Och då ska vi göra så att vi tar en kort paus när vi ska micka upp nästa gäst. Vi är strax tillbaka.